when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats.
During the press conference, Canelo Alvarez fired back at Terence Crawford, asserting that Crawford is not on his level. He criticized fighters who focus solely on surviving 12 rounds rather than delivering an exciting, competitive performance. According to Canelo, overly cautious tactics result in dull fights that disappoint fans expecting a true spectacle.
It's a wow fight. It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other. But you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I know when I box Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion is okay. But when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
I think Crawford still got the legs. Obviously, he's very much got great IQ.
Kell Brook, who has first-hand experience with elite fighters like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, issued a stark warning about the upcoming clash. He stressed that this fight is unlike anything Crawford has faced before. Brook noted that Canelo's style is distinct, blending power, ring IQ, and tactical versatility, compared to the more skill and speed-reliant approach of the shorter-statured Crawford.
He's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know, I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. It's like he's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience, and just his ring generalship. He's got confidence. He's big.
Brook elaborated on Canelo's in-ring adaptability, highlighting his ability to impose his will mid-fight. Facing a fighter as physically imposing and tactically versatile as Canelo demands a different mindset and preparation. Brook made it clear, Crawford has never faced an opponent quite like this.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss, because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. Before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight.
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, you know, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the depth.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley expressed strong confidence in Canelo's ability to defeat Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's exceptional talent and impressive record, Lampley emphasized Canelo's experience, physicality, and mental toughness. He cited Canelo's history of defeating top-tier fighters across multiple weight divisions as a key advantage. Lampley also praised Canelo's ring IQ and his ability to control pace and distance, factors he believes could be decisive. Furthermore, he suggested Canelo's counter-punching and defense could neutralize Crawford's offensive strategies.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Evanesian, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switches, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an
Terence Crawford's career achievements underscore his elite status in boxing. Known for his exceptional skills, power, and adaptability, he is revered within boxing circles. However, Crawford's calculated, methodical fighting style rooted in precision, defense, and strategic pressure is often overlooked by casual fans who prefer more aggressive, high-octane action. This disconnect has led to a general underappreciation of Crawford's technical brilliance outside of hardcore boxing communities.
Canelo Alvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Floyd Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit. But it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build the fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I can tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody or everybody that he fought was no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, you know, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for Crawford because of his pound-for-pound abilities. And apparently no rehydration clause, am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wanted. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here. And maybe we'll catch up later in 5 weeks. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Boxing analyst Bomac offered a contrasting view, praising Canelo's talent but highlighting Crawford's superior technical abilities. Bomac argued that Crawford's speed, precision, and ring generalship give him the edge. He also noted Crawford's consistent focus and mental sharpness heading into fights. According to Bomac, Crawford's ability to outthink and outmaneuver opponents, even against a powerful adversary like Canelo, could be the key to victory, shifting the matchup into a tactical battle rather than a simple test of strength.
Hope that Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller, it didn't really play into it either, but Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller, but when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, I mean, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. You know, that's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought.
Canelo Alvarez's business manager made bold claims about Canelo's physical advantages. He emphasized Canelo's unique physique, built to absorb punishment and avoid damage, traits that distinguish him from many fighters in the sport.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger.
The manager further pointed out that Canelo's muscle structure, conditioning, and defensive skills have helped him avoid serious injuries, even when facing heavy hitters. This durability could be a major factor against Crawford, who is physically smaller and less imposing. He also referenced Crawford's recent performances, suggesting they raised doubts about Crawford's ability to overcome Canelo's size and resilience.
How is Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. While both can have a bit of similarities, the speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri, the speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length. It's too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That would be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford, amazing pound-for-pound fighter. Different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo. But that's very, very, very unlikely, damn near impossible.
Analysts universally recognize Crawford's elite talent and ring intelligence. However, moving up in weight to face Canelo presents significant challenges. Experts suggest Crawford will rely on his tried-and-true strategy of precision, counter-punching, and tactical patience, rather than making drastic adjustments at this stage of his career. Successfully executing this familiar game plan while managing the physical demands of a higher weight class will be crucial.
Canelo's team Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow.
Rising boxer and commentator Nico Ali Walsh added nuance to the discussion, noting that Crawford's recent sparring with heavyweight fighters has prepared him for Canelo's size and strength. Walsh suggested this experience helps level the playing field, making the fight a genuine 50-50 contest. He believes both fighters bring unique strengths, making the outcome unpredictable and the matchup highly compelling.
He's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas offered a balanced perspective. He acknowledged Canelo's advantages in power and size but equally credited Crawford's technical skill, speed, and passion. Atlas framed the fight as a clash of styles, physicality versus technical mastery. He emphasized that success will depend on which fighter can best execute their strategy, calling it an evenly matched bout with valid arguments for either side. That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more fight breakdowns and expert analysis.